Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show.
Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. It is now time for This Week in Geek for March 12th,
all right,
2015.
Yay.
Woo! You know what? I had to
it.
send out an email about it. That's the only reason I know. So, all right. Is everybody enjoying their dinner? It's like dinner theater, kind of, isn't it? Okay. Well, tonight we have the lineup we had last time. We're doing a very special Thursday night edition rather than our normal Saturday. So if news breaks between Friday and Saturday, you know what? You're going to have to wait a week. So who have we got here? Who's on the end?
Chris Mao, owner of Blue Box Cafe.
Home to the best sandwiches and coffee in Elgin. Possibly anywhere.
Possibly.
And next to me?
I am Edward Lee.
And you are the owner of?
Nothing.
Owner of this funky hat. All right. And I am Rob Southgate, and I'm typically up here. Just wait for the ADD and sugar to kick in. So I took notes this week.
Yay.
I am actually prepared.
No, well, you said you weren't prepared, but you took notes.
I took notes. I didn't say they were about the show, but there are notes. And for those of you that have been here before, you know that I typically don't have notes, and I flip through the whole time and miss everything, and then after the show we go, we didn't talk about how Star Wars is coming out, which would be big news. Well, this week I'm kind of prepared. In fact, I got Star Wars news.
Lots of it.
I just inserted the sound of lightsabers. Wow. I don't have lots of it.
There's 3 or 4 big things.
Okay, well, I'm going to hit on a couple, and if you have anything to put in there, you can. First thing is they gave a date and a title for the first Star Wars spin-off movie.
Yes.
So this has been a lot of speculation about what they're going to do for these spin-offs. You're going to have Episode 7 coming out this year. I think you guys have heard of this movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of on the radar? Yeah, right. Well, the big speculation is they've said they're going to be these spin-offs. There's been talk about it being a Yoda story, a Han Solo story, like all these things. Well, they finally announced it. Gareth Edwards is directing it, the guy that did Godzilla, which should not deter you. I think he was a victim of money, where Disney has deep enough pockets. I don't think we have to worry about that.
No.
Maybe we'll get a whole movie with Bryan Cranston.
Maybe 10 minutes this time.
10 minutes. This one, it's called Rogue One. So they haven't released anything more than that, but obviously that means it's going to be about the pilots, right?
Right.
That's awesome.
About the
either that
pilots, so I think.
Either that or remember how there was the Rogue Leader, Rogue One, Rogue Two,
right.
Porkins, and Porkins. Remember that guy? Hey, you know we got a character named Porkins.
All you have to know is Wedge.
Let's pick the fat guy.
Right.
Yeah, Wedge. He's the guy that was walking funny and his underwear was sticking out of the back of his uniform. No laughs at that.
Han Solo got him before the run.
Did we talk about Han Solo crashing the plane again?
That's right.
So, anyway, Rogue One could be about that guy. It could be about Wedge Antilles. Was he Rogue One?
I don't know.
Red One.
He was in Red One. Yeah. It stars Felicity Jones, which is they announced that today. Felicity Jones is starring in the movie. That's the first.
Really?
Really. So
where did you see this? I didn't see this.
Well, I took better notes, I guess. I don't know.
Now wait, who's Felicity Jones?
I don't know. I just read that she was in it. So
It's that girl?
That guy. Go.
Who's that girl? Who is that? Okay, dark-haired girl number 1 is who she is. Was she in anything?
The theory.
Does anyone know who Felicity Jones is? Please chime in if you do.
She's from The Theory of Everything.
Oh, okay. That's the one with about Hawkins.
Hawkins. So yeah, I think she was the wife.
Why am I not in
Yes.
this movie?
Well, and if it's any indication,
Did you
on
like
the,
it?
Nice.
Oh.
If it's any indication on one of the background drops, they put X-wing, so it probably is about Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, but I think they're guessing on that. And then they put a sweet drawing that had like Greedos and alien guys and I think this is going to be awesome. You know what? It could be just about anything, and I would say it's awesome because it's Star Wars. But this sounds cool. I don't know who Felicity Jones is though.
She was from Spider-Man 2 also. So.
What was she in Spider-Man 2?
I don't know.
Was she Spider-Man? Was she in? Was she in the new one,
Yes.
Amazing Spider-Man?
Yes.
Did we talk about this? Speaking of Spider-Man, they've announced that the next one is called Spectacular Spider-Man. They're ditching the Amazing storyline. Did we talk about that before?
I think we did in another podcast, but we have.
We haven't tonight, though.
Not tonight.
No.
Yep. I'm
Not
losing
tonight. Sorry,
time
I
here.
apologize.
So she was in Spider-Man 2, which okay, you know what, we're going to fall into that hole. So let's move on. Let's go back to what we were talking about, and then we'll figure out Felicity Jones. They gave a date, December 16th, 2016.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That means we're going to have, within a 2-year time frame, we're going to have 3 Star Wars movies.
Yes.
Yes.
And I would bet.
Yes doesn't cut it.
No,
Yes.
number one, that's awesome, and I would bet that they're not going to fall into the trap of other franchises, or they're going to put something out every 2 years. I think they're going to pound it every year.
Yes.
Until they.
Well, that's
drop.
because they're not
So-
using the same director. No,
Right.
you know what they're going to do? They're going to take they're going to have success with this, but they're hedging their bets. So they're saying this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do like 1 a year. But
Right.
it's just like Marvel. Marvel is up to the point where they're doing 3 a year within a couple of years.
Right.
I bet we're going to get to a point we have 3 Star Wars movies a year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I can't handle the marathons.
Can you imagine?
All the marathons.
That's all
It's
I
gonna
have to
be.
say.
We're going to have 24-hour marathons of
Yes.
Star Wars back to back with Marvel,
No.
back to back with DC, back to back with Ghostbusters, which we're getting to. I'm so excited.
Yes, me
Well,
too.
the
There's
problem
so
is-
much news this week.
People have life. People have lives.
Yeah, we do. It's called Ghostbusters,
Yeah,
Star Wars,
you know
Star
what?
Trek.
You're,
What are you talking
you're
about?
young. You can have the life. Chris and I have movies.
That's right.
They keep us warm. Oh my gosh! You know what? I think I just had a little aneurysm. I got so excited about that one. Did you also know? I didn't realize this. I think I did, but May 17th or May 2017 is when Episode 8 comes
Yes.
out. So that's why I said
And-
it's within a 2-year time frame.
And
3,
it's Ryan Johnson directing.
Yes.
And he did Looper, which
is the
fantastic.
best.
Yes.
Did anybody see Looper? Does anyone know what Looper is?
Bruce
Yes.
Willis
Did you see
and
Looper?
Too.
Gordon
Did you see
Levitt.
Looper? It is a movie with Bruce Willis.
It's
And,
unbelievable.
that
Anthony
was-
Michael Hall, or what's his name? The one that was
Gordon
in
Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I was close. I had 3 names. Either that or a serial killer. It was one of them had 3
One of
names.
the
But Ryan Johnson made Looper, and I loved that movie.
It was amazing.
It was
I've seen-
amazing.
It's
Wow,
one of
you
them
saw that one?
Yes, I
All
saw
right,
it.
Edward.
Him
was
doing
really
a
good.
Star Wars movie. What do you think of that, Edward?
That would just be unbelievable. It's Looper with Star Wars.
Yeah, please.
It's-
Please.
Yes, absolutely. Please.
It's the right choice.
And the way they had indicated it in the online is he may be on for number 9 as well. Which would
Really?
be,
So
which
he'd
would
be doing
good.
2. So
He might be
Abrams
doing
does
2.
1.
Right.
But then he's producing all 3.
Right.
So his production with Ryan Johnson.
Ryan
you know what?
Johnson.
It's like that Rainn Wilson. I can't
Right.
get these names right now. I think they should all just be Ryan. What's up with these names?
I don't.
You know, I have trouble with that.
Because there's only a couple ways to spell Ryan, so we have to get creative. To
Yeah,
get Ryan
Rain.
to-
It's like Topher.
Yes.
You know what? Just go with either Chris or Christopher. Don't give me this Topher thing. I have trouble with that.
yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too as
Yeah.
well.
See, I'm not alone. We don't have lives. This is what we talk
what we
about.
do.
This
Oh,
is
and
what we obsess
Talking
about.
about
Another interesting thing about episode 8 is it is going to be released 40 years and 1 day after
Yes.
A New Hope came out, which is
Yes.
really cool. So,
Yes. which makes you and I how old?
Yes.
No, yeah, okay.
40.
So
40 plus. 40 in a day plus.
Yep. I still remember before Star Wars came out, before anyone knew what Star Wars was. For those of you youngsters here, you can't even imagine a world where the words Star Wars didn't exist. But when we were kids, they didn't. And I remember seeing something. We saw something. Who knows what it was? Probably something completely inappropriate because that's what they showed back then, right? Like, they'd take me to James Bond movies. I watch them now. I'm like, oh, my
Did you go
gosh.
with
I was like 5. What's
Did
going on there?
take you?
Yeah, Alil took me. It was Alien.
Yes.
And no. And a preview for Star Wars came on, and all it was that, I'm sure you can go online and see this or see it on the Blu-ray, where it's just like you see the Millennium Falcon go through the thing, and you're, ah-hoo, and it says Star Wars. And then you're, oh, wait, that was just me with asthma. Let me do the impression. No. But I remember seeing that little preview, not knowing anything about it. My dad and I sitting next to each other, and it was one of those like immediate like, I think our lives just changed.
Yes.
Like this is it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dad. This movie was a big moment for you, right? Yeah. How many times did you see it over the course of time? Countless.
Many. So.
Yeah.
I think
as many stars in the sky, my dad has seen Star Wars. So I remember seeing that and the effect it had. I feel like we're right there again, which I didn't feel that way with the original prequel trilogy. I didn't get that mojo going.
Me neither. I mean, I can remember seeing the Star Wars trailer for the first time, and I think they said it was when Luke goes to see Leia in the detention center, and he goes, "I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to save you." And then they have the battle scene.
Hold on. It's I'm here to rescue you. Let's get the lines correct when we're talking Star Wars.
I have to paraphrase. My memory is going.
Okay.
And then they do the scene where they go across a bridge and they shoot the controls, and then they have to swing across. And I was just like, okay. And
you're done, right?
I was like, and I think they showed one little scene with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting with lightsabers, and I'm like, okay, I can do that.
I'm in. Truth be told, when I first saw Flash Gordon and the winged guys were flying in, I was done too. Like, oh. Although I'm still that way. I love that movie.
No, I love it too.
Have you seen that one, Edward?
I don't think so.
There's a great scene when the bad guy, he's got like a gold metal face, and he gets killed. The Baron, and he falls over, and his eyes go like out. It's like the craziest thing. But the best part of that movie
Does he just instantly turn into an anime?
No, but his eyes like out of the mask.
Yeah,
It's bizarre. But do you remember the best scene? It's James Bond is in it.
Timothy Dalton.
Right.
Okay.
And Chris and I we're each side of a brain, one right side, one left side. We have combined to create Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of one brain, barely functioning.
With notes today.
With notes. But James Bond plays this like I can't remember who he is, but he looks like Robin Hood. He's in this green thing.
The Prince of the Forest. I can't remember the name, but yes.
Yeah, Prince Foresty. And they do this thing.
Foresty?
Yes, where
Prince
they stick. They take the test where they have to stick their hand in a log, and there's like a monster in there that stings them and will kill you, and it's like a test of your strength.
Yes.
It's just the greatest. Remember that? Like Flash puts his hand in, and like the guy puts, and then they fake like,
so that's where National Treasure got it from.
It is.
Yes.
It is. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, what were we talking about?
Star Wars.
Let's stop talking Star Wars unless you got more.
No, I think that's good. Do you have anything else, Edward?
Nothing for Star Wars.
Okay.
For the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. What do you got? Pictures.
Yeah, they released some pictures about the Fantastic Four.
They did. Now I haven't looked at these. Are they cool? Because the trailer was great. That's all I really need to see.
I mean, it looks.
They just look like character.
Yeah, it looks
art,
like
right?
they did Mr. Fantastic. I don't know, maybe
Invisible Girl.
Mr. Fantastic.
Invisible Girl.
Yeah.
Invisible Girl.
Yeah. And is that Benjamin?
No, the African American gentleman is playing Johnny Storm, the brother of the Invisible Girl, but obviously not biological brother. Because it's Mara Rooney or something, Mara Bag of Donuts. So it's going to be. That's not who that is.
That's why they're wearing those heat suits.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So So, yeah, they released some pictures. Not that thrilling, but I'm still on board. That trailer was fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
so,
the trailer was captivatingly good. So
Another big piece of news this week, it went out in a tweet that Tron 3 is happening.
Yes.
Now, if you read the articles, they have not officially confirmed it, but here's the craziest part. The director has been named.
And the star has been named.
The star has been named, and the month and year of production and the release date, it's supposed to be released sometime in 2016, yet Disney still has not officially announced that the movie's coming out yet. And it's the same director from the last Tron, but it's not going to focus on the Jeff Bridges and his son characters. It's going to be different.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm all in. I did not watch the second Tron one. I saw parts of it on cable. Mm-hmm. I hate when people say that. Like, I saw bits and pieces. They really mean they saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
I actually mean I saw bits and pieces. I watched for 5 minutes. Then I went to something else, and I watched for 5 minutes. And then, and it looked visually very cool. And it was one of those that I just never found the time to fall into. But it totally gets me. It looks cool. Even if it's not good, I know I'm going to be into it. So seeing this, I was like, yep. I think we're going to have to go to the Tron Marathon just before Tron 3 comes out.
And the same director is doing it, so it's...
Yeah, same director. I wonder if Daft Punk is going to do the music in this, too.
They brought that up. They did not confirm that yet.
They didn't confirm that?
They did not.
Maybe they'll get somebody else. Maybe they'll get, Frankie Yankovic's polka band. Really go wild on it. Yeah,
That'll be great.
We're going to play Who Stole the Kishka. And then that's going to be the song as they race in the speeder bikes.
Exactly.
Who stole the Kishka? That was more of a visual joke.
And what I liked about Tron 2 was they were able to capture the bad animated graphics from the 80s.
Yes.
And update them and make it relevant, which I thought was good.
Yes.
Which I really appreciated in that movie.
Except for the outside of the tanks.
Outside of the tanks, I don't remember that. I didn't see
Tron?
it. I told you in the first Tron. Yeah, that was great. It looked like
We'll skip it, but
remember
yes.
that game Battlefield or
Yes.
Battle? That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the first Tron in the games, I remember being hooked on that Tron game at.
Oh, that game was so good.
Did you go to Peacock Palace back in the
Yes.
day? Yes. Okay. So,
Yep.
Sorry. Reminiscing.
Old guy
games.
talk again.
Old guy talking. Ooh.
Edward has a drinking problem.
Dribbler.
Somebody get him in rehab. He's spilling coffee or something all over himself.
Somebody had to do it, Rob.
Sounds good.
Good thing it's not video, right, Edward? How embarrassing.
Yes.
So,
Your brother
okay.
didn't zoom in on that. Don't worry.
I've got one for your brother here. William, here's a shout out to you. Maze Runner Scorch Trials coming out September 18th, 2015. They released pictures of it. Did you see this?
Does he see it?
The reason William's not over here is he's a mute. I didn't want to say anything about that, but he
just
didn't.
nods.
He nodded. No, he didn't see it. I was not crazy about the pictures because they were publicity pictures, so they were a little too well lit.
Right.
But I really liked that first movie, and I actually saw it a second time and think I liked it more the second time. I saw it with you, didn't I, Edward? Maze Runner.
Yes.
So did you see the pictures for Maze Runner 2?
No.
It looks cool. The publicity
yes,
pictures
I've
are a little
seen
too
one
lit,
of them. Yeah, I've
but it
seen
is
one of
cool. I'm really excited. Watching it the second time, I don't know, maybe it's because I knew what was going to happen. Did you see it, Chris?
Maze Runner, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was
thought
cool, and that
really nice
ending was
movie, so-
fantastic.
Yes.
This looks really great. Even though, like I said, the pictures are not doing it for me. When I saw the title, I saw the date.
Sure.
I was like, yep, I know what I'm doing that weekend. I'm all in. I've got so many things to be all in on.
You're all in it a lot. You
I'm
should be
all in on everything.
World Series of Poker. With,
Oh, yes. Okay, you got one?
I do have one. Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk are doing an Indiegogo to do
Yes.
a movie called Con Man, which is about guys who go to conventions, which is probably a spin-off
Is
of...
that what it is?
Yeah, it's about them being, it's very much Galaxy Questy, very, where they're guys that were in a short-lived sci-fi series that ended
they
too
do
early.
this.
And they do it, which is kind of ironic, obviously, for being from Firefly, which was short-lived.
We need to reach out to them.
Yes,
We need to get a segment in that movie where they're interviewed, because this is how the
By
culture is.
podcasters,
By
absolutely.
us as podcasters for Tour de Cons.
That would-
where we're talking about to these two losers that are former, and
Right.
we have the third guy who's like 15 and has no idea who they are.
Nope.
and no point of reference, and the two old guys sitting there going, "Remember when you wore this and it was awesome?"
No,
I'm going to reach out to them. That would be fantastic.
I'll just stand there being the mute.
No, that's your brother. He's the mute. Well, you know what? It's so mean that you bring that up about him.
It is.
I have
Turn that
one
up.
So-
that you can spend all your money on.
Wait. They've got an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter on Indiegogo. Not a
Yeah.
Kickstarter, an
It's
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. So that means
So-
that they get funding, whatever. I guess whatever. They're going to raise the money, though. Who's not
Yeah.
going to give money to Nathan Fillion?
Oh,
Come on.
please. Well, I'm not. I don't have any. But if I did,
Edward
it
will
would
give
go
for
to
it, he
that.
said.
Edward, come on.
Come on, Edward.
Maybe
It's
if it's save a little.
Firefly.
Now that you're not
Edward,
going to be drinking so
Firefly.
much because of your drinking problem.
I'm saving up for something else that I saw. There's gonna
Oh
be
yes, I know what you're
such a-
saving up for. Wait till you
Dun, dun,
see.
dun.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this one. Okay, what do you got for us, Edward?
It is a $21,500 Iron Man.
$21,000.
$21,000
$21,000
Hulkbuster
essentially toy.
armor. It's a
It's a 9 foot tall
9 foot tall Hulkbuster.
Hulkbuster outfit.
Oh,
Like,
that's awesome.
But it's a toy. It's
It
not like you're
lights
buying
up.
the costume.
No.
It's the Hulkbuster. Do you guys know what the Hulkbuster is? Yes. It's
This thing.
Iron Man dresses up in what's called a Hulkbuster. It's like a giant Iron Man costume that he's going to fight the Hulk in. It's the only way that they can fight the Hulk. And this company is making a 9 foot tall statue of it for $21,000. So
Can you ride in it, or does it just sit there?
It just sits there.
I could ride on it. I'll be sitting up on the shoulders. Yay! I wish you were my daddy, Iron Man.
That's right.
That'd be terrible.
Well,
That thing looks crazy. Everybody should look that one up. It's crazy cool.
speaking of Iron Man,
Speaking of Iron Man, I'm Edward. I've been taking transition classes.
yes.
Nice segue.
Thank you very much. So, Robert Downey Jr. dresses up as Iron Man and continues in, what's it called? He gives a
Is this the
young
story about the
child-
kid?
Yeah,
Yes.
young kid.
The
who
kid that's missing the
lost
arm.
Lost
Bionic
his
arm.
arm. And
Yes.
he gave him a 3D printed bionic arm.
The arm, so the kid is missing an arm, and they gave him a prosthetic robotic arm.
Correct.
Robert Downey Jr. presents it to him. I mean, this guy deserves, like,
yeah.
Yes.
Geek of the Millennium for this. I mean, what a guy. The arm was printed, the outside of it is printed on a 3D printer. It looks like Iron Man's arm. You know what? I cut off the tip of my finger. I'm asking for a little tiny Iron Man fingertip.
I'll paint a thimble red and give it to you, okay?
And I want to paint a thimble red. I want Robert Downey Jr. to present that to me.
It's called the Limitless, as in limbless.
Limbless,
Play on
okay.
words, by Albert Manero. It's headed by him. He
That's
goes
amazing.
goes around the world, I think.
Yeah.
And he finds kids who lost legs, lost arms,
Fingertips?
lost fingertips.
Yes.
And he 3D prints them and gives them for free.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Whew, I love that guy.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's so cool, too. I mean, if you've got to live your life missing a limb or having,
Sure.
you want to have Iron Man's arm.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like if you're going to be, if you have a choice of being Batman or not Batman, you always choose Batman.
Yes.
If you have the choice of having some kind of, the arm from the Fugitive or Iron Man's arm.
Iron Man's arm.
No
I might say
contest.
any person's arm.
Although
but
wasn't
the
there?
one-
Yeah, right. Wasn't there recently something where somebody got a kid got like a Star Wars arm? Like there was something where they made an arm and they 3D printed a stormtrooper
Ooh, that
arm.
would be cool.
Yes. How about a Doctor Who arm?
did
Your
the
whole
500
arm looks like a sonic screwdriver. That would be
No,
awesome.
It's a Dalek toilet plunger.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
the other side is a toilet plunger, a
Toilet
Dalek toilet plunger.
Or an antenna with a suction cup.
And you get stuck on things. Oh, darn it.
Darn it.
Boy, this is a bad choice. Why couldn't I get the Iron Man arm?
Did the 501st have anything to do with that? Do you know or not?
The what?
Legion 501 Legion.
Oh, yeah, they were in the picture.
Uh-huh,
The
okay.
501st, yeah.
501st.
They're awesome, too. That's another group. We've talked to them about coming out and doing some cosplay stuff with us, and we've made friends. One of our shows, we have a show called We have Radio Ramen.
Radio Free Indoor.
Radio Free Indoor. You know my shows better than I do. They actually have talked to the 501st. We almost had a co-host from that group.
Nice.
They're awesome. And Nikki, who is the co-host on Radio Free Indoor, is in the 501st on the West Coast.
Cool.
So very cool. What a cool group.
Yeah,
And,
it's a very cool.
yeah,
group.
and they just dealt with another group. There's like Metachlorian Warriors or something. It's another group that dresses up like Boba Fett guys, and then there's one that's the Dark Empire. I think we just had the Dark Empire guys on. So
Okay,
it's all cool.
Yeah, it's very neat.
Yeah.
40 years, you can build a good fan base.
That's,
I think.
that's
a
right.
little bit.
Let's see. We're year 1.5 of this. I think in 40 years, I want to see a room full of people cosplaying us.
You know what?
Ew.
It's a little bit easier than you may think.
At the Comic-Con, at the one in Madison, we keep joking, we saw a guy that was cosplaying me, and Martha likes to point out that the cosplay illusion was ruined when the guy actually ran. I don't know why she's saying it, but
Well, is someone
he was
dressing
in-
up as a T-Rex for Martha?
yeah, he had little arms. He was a market, but he had on pajama pants, like Star Wars pajama pants, and like an Adventure Time T-shirt, and he looked like he hadn't like shaved or washed his hair. And Martha's like, "Oh, look, it's you!" I'm like, "Oh, he's cosplaying me." 46-year-old podcaster.
No, 45-year-old man-child.
I'm 45. I'm 46.
I don't know how old you are.
You're the keeper of that knowledge. You know that Molly, am I 46 or 45? 46. Does
Well, you're
Dad
his-
know?
you're his-
Dad,
you're
Dad,
his
count
mother,
Up, take
you
your
should.
shoe off. I don't know how old he is. He's 79 or something, right? No, actually, Dad was born. I know what year he was born. He was 1941. I know that because we love that movie with John Belushi.
Okay.
It's an awesome movie, isn't it, Dad? Great soundtrack. Remember the soundtrack?
Is that Landis?
Yeah,
That's
it's John Landis.
yeah.
No, it's Spielberg.
No.
Spielberg. That's Spielberg.
Is it?
Yeah, he directed that one. It wasn't Landis.
Hollis Wood.
Hollis Wood.
Hollis Wood.
What? Yeah, Hollis Wood is Slim Pickens.
Slim Pickens, yes.
You don't know what we're talking about at all.
Nope.
You're
It's-
missing
oh,
out.
That is yes.
My name is Hollis Wood. Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Oh, we found a Hollywood. Oh, I love that movie. People hate that movie. What's wrong with them?
Right, yeah, it's-
What is wrong with you people for not liking that movie?
Because
I just complained to the entire of Elgin.
That's right. How could you not like 1941?
How could you not? Okay, speaking of Ghostbusters, which I think we did a
wait,
minute
what?
ago.
Wait,
If
what?
not, I did.
It's an example not of a good segue.
Okay,
Not good.
but when something made me think of Ghostbusters.
Who are you going to call?
So this is big news.
Yes.
So we've talked about how they're doing the reboot, and they have the 4 women playing the Ghostbusters, right? So this week, 2 bits of news leaked out. The first was that there was a rumor going around that Chris Pratt and Channing Tatum were going to be the central characters in another Ghostbusters movie. Did you read this?
Yes, I did.
And did you read what Ivan Reitman came out and said? This is the interesting
I didn't see
part.
that, no.
Now, my first reaction was, oh no, Chris Pratt's in everything, and I really like Chris Pratt. We're going to have overexposure here. But listen to this. Everybody, listen to this. You've got the female Ghostbuster team. Within the same universe, they're doing one focused on 2 male characters. It's not a male-centric one. It's just the males are, and it's Chris Pratt and Channing Tatum. And then for the 3rd movie, which is really the 5th Ghostbusters movie, it is almost like an Avengers with all of them. So what Ivan Reitman said they're doing is trying to build a Ghostbusters type universe. I am now all in. I think that's awesome.
That sounds cool.
I think it's a great idea. And you know what? If it was, we're going to relaunch the Ghostbusters and we're going to do a trilogy of movies and now we've got Chris Pratt, then I was not as interested. But this, where they're going to have him as one of the guys, it's a different movie, but it's in the same universe, and the universes are going to start to merge, and they've got this whole, like, Ghostbusters thing. And what he said is, the universe we want to play in is this scary and comedy universe, not just let's do Ghostbusters over and over.
Right.
They're trying to go with the, kind of like Shaun of the Dead had that niche, they're trying to go in that niche, but we may see things outside of ghosts. We may see all sorts of stuff that has that sensibility of Ghostbusters.
Sure.
I'm now all in.
I think it's interesting.
And Dan Aykroyd could be back.
Or they cross the line.
Right, if it was Supernatural mixed with the Ghostbusters, yes. Why not hire those guys? Have them be in it.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yep.
Because it costs money.
Because it costs money. Listen to Mr. Financial.
That costs money.
Well, that costs money, and I'm already pulling the budget on this. And
costs a lot of money. I would bet those two are a lot. So no, I think you know what I think that's good because I think there was some resistance met with how they approached the reboot of that. So and hopefully,
but it kind of appears that this was the plan.
Sure.
Like they weren't exposing this. And you know, if you start looking at this and adding it up, a few weeks ago, another rumor had come out where Dan Aykroyd had said they were working on this Ghostbusters thing. He's like, it's great they're doing this, and we're working on ours. And people are like, oh, is he delusional or what is this?
Yes, he's delusional.
I have a feeling this is what we're talking about because they said the fourth movie is a prequel. And I wonder, a prequel.
Nice.
Now, I wonder if there is something, if you've got, like if you have this Chris Pratt and Channing Tatum movie, why couldn't you have Dan Aykroyd mentoring those guys?
Sure, absolutely.
All of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, it's all kind of adding up. The prequel might be a little bit tough, but who knows? Maybe it'll be all about Vigo or whatever. Remember the painting? That would be awesome.
Gozer the Gozerian.
Gozer. Remember when you opened the fridge and there was like a universe of demons inside? Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love Ghostbusters. Have you seen Ghostbusters? Are you allowed to? Yeah, okay.
I've seen Am I allowed to?
Am I allowed to?
So I've watched Lupa, but I'm not allowed to watch the Ghostbusters.
Well,
you know what? We can't control what you're watching when your mom's not home. So she doesn't hear it.
No,
Good.
That went over, so.
Yep. At least I didn't get booed. So what were you going to say, Chris?
Nothing.
Well,
I'm good.
You got one? Oh, he's got one. I wanted to hear about this.
One,
I didn't read this.
So there's gonna be a Hotel Transylvania 2.
Yes, there is.
It's gonna be apparently it's going to be looking like it's the daughter in the first episode.
What was the daughter's name? Mavis?
Avis,
okay.
And the weird dude.
Yeah, the weird guy that, hey, dudes, that
apparently
guy.
They're going to have a son.
Oh, they have a son, okay.
Yes. And I haven't seen the trailer.
So you haven't watched the trailer, but there is a sequel. Does it have a date that it's coming out?
Yes.
I didn't know they were working on one, did you?
September the 25th of 2015.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, it's
now, did you like the first one? Did you like the first one?
First one
I
was
thought
amazing.
the first one was great. Did you like it?
I did not see it. So.
You don't like cartoons, though. You're not really a cartoon
no,
guy.
I like them. I don't have very much movie, I hate to say it, like movie time, so I pick other things.
Okay. All right. I saw you picking other things, and good thing it's not on video.
Yes.
This was a fun movie. We loved it. Molly watched it with us. We had a great time. I think we went with my parents.
Is it
Hotel Transylvania?
Is that the little girl that I think I saw the trailer where she wanders around in it's like a hotel that's got monsters or a graveyard?
Yeah. Her dad,
That's
Dracula, who's Adam Sandler, opens a hotel for all the monsters to stay at so they don't get attacked by the people.
Nice. Right.
And it's really funny. And then Mavis is a teenager, and she wants to go out in the world, and he's like, no, the humans will kill you. And
there was a show about that called The Munsters.
Yes, there was. Yeah. This was very different. But
and I'm just teasing.
But how much did you love The Munsters?
Immensely.
Yes.
Immensely.
Now, are you more of an Addams Family or Munsters guy?
Me? Munsters.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what we're talking about, so.
The Addams Family, to me, was too... I hate to say too chaotic and too crazy. It just didn't make much sense to me.
Okay.
Where the Munsters kind of did.
Yeah. Now, did you watch either one of those?
Nope. I've not seen anything.
You haven't seen even the Addams Family movies?
No. I don't know.
No. They had a baby in the second movie. His name was Pubert. How hilarious is that? And he had a mustache. Oh, it's fantastic.
Although the Thing and Cousin It were fantastic.
Thing and Cousin It. But
nothing beats a dragon under the stairs. That's all I have to say about that.
If you were to ask me the question, I can't give an answer. That's what's unfortunate about being me. I love both of them for completely different reasons, and I don't have a preference. I love the Addams Family in a completely different way than I love the Munsters.
Yes.
I just do. I can talk about either one, and there's just as much joy. Those are great shows. Those are great shows.
Back in the day.
Although I do have to say, when they've tried to relaunch the Munsters, terrible.
Yeah.
I think it's because Fred Gwynn isn't there. Fred Gwynn and Grandpa Munster make the show.
They made it.
When you take them out and you have other actors in the role, it doesn't work. Whereas with the Addams Family, as great as John Astin was on that show, Raul Julia is great. And you know what? I think it proves that those characters could be redone by somebody else. We could have another Addams Family relaunch, and it would be just as great.
Putting Raul Julia doing that.
Well, he's dead now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when he did it, that's a great actor doing that.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Just as quirky.
Do you know his last role? Do you know what his last role was? He played M. Bison in the Street Fighter movie. What a terrible way to go out. Like when they're showing the thing on the Oscars, like actors that have passed. And they get to Raul Julia, they show him as M. Bison from the Street Fighter movie.
I would have thought it would have been, is it Kiss of the
Spider-Woman? Well, I'm sure that's what they showed on the Oscars. Yeah. I'm sure they didn't show M. Bison. It's the worst. It's like right after he does Gomez Addams and makes a gazillion dollars, now he's M. Bison. Mm-hmm. Do you guys even know who M. Bison is? Exactly. He was a bad guy in the Street Fighter movie. It's terrible. It's terrible. And you know who else is in that?
It's a contractual obligation that he had to do.
You know who else is in that? Is Kylie Minogue, who was in a great episode of Doctor Who.
Yes.
So there you go. She was in the Titanic episode.
Titanic,
Yep. Okay, moving right ahead. Here's bad news. Yeah. I think Tim Burton's making a live-action Dumbo movie.
What?
Yeah, exactly. What I thought when I read that. I'm like, huh?
You know that the elephants are going to be CGI, but they're going to look real. And Johnny Depp will be he'll be the ringmaster.
Right.
Wait,
Timothy.
How you make Dumbo fly, though, just looks so weird.
Yeah, you know what? Leave it alone. It's fine that they remake Cinderella. It's fine that they remake... Right. I don't want to see a live-action Bambi. I don't want to see a live-action Dumbo. Right. I don't want to see the live-action Fox and the Hound.
No,
not Fox and the Hound.
I don't want to see Fox and the Hound anyway, but I don't want to see live-action Rescuers. Rescuers is a great movie.
Yes, it is.
Then all of a sudden they make it with mice. Tim Burton presents The Rescuers with real mice.
That's right. Charlotte's Web, he does a live.
No,
yeah.
I don't want to see it. No.
I would agree. I think I don't see what there is to gain by doing a Dumbo movie with Tim Burton.
That seems like a cash grab, and it seems like, as much as I'm all in on everything, I'm not all in on this.
That starts at 1 star.
Starts at 1 star. You got it.
Go down.
Do you know how hard it is for me to start one at 1 star? This is going to have to do some work to get me interested. I don't even care about seeing a trailer. No. Like, I'm just kind of like, I don't care.
I read that and was very meh.
Oh, speaking of trailers, did you see the trailer for Daredevil this week?
Yes.
No.
The final trailer.
No.
Did anybody see the Daredevil trailer?
No one.
Wait until the podcasts are over and you've filled up on food here at the Blue Box. Run home and see this Daredevil trailer. It is amazing. Like, I'm watching it, and all I could do was clear my calendar for the day that comes out because I am binge watching the heck out of that thing.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It looks fantastic.
Is there a yellow suit in that movie?
No, there was no yellow suit, but they didn't show the red suit, and I hear the red suit does show up. So he was in the black one with the hood thing. Mm-hmm. It's really graphic, like violent. Yes. Kingpin. Ooh, cool. Vincent D'Onofrio is the Kingpin.
Oh, he looks
awesome.
amazing.
And this is PG-13, right?
What are you making a face? You don't want to see it?
No.
Why do you not want to see that?
Because nobody's ever redone the Punisher. They gave the Punisher to.
Hold on, mister. Actually, they did. There was a fan film of the Punisher that was awesome. Okay? And I agree. Daredevil deserves to get its remake, which means phase 2 of Netflix Marvel. Look, buddy, I do a Marvel podcast. I'm all about this. I'm telling you right now, we have said that from the beginning they need to redo the Punisher, and they need to do it right. And this Daredevil opens the door for that. The next phase of Netflix shows, they're going to do the 4, then they're going to do a Defenders movie just for Netflix. Mark my words, my favorite phrase that I keep using it and I get right 1/100th of the time. Mark my words, Punisher will be in phase 2. There'll be a 12-episode Punisher film. Yeah, they should have. Yeah, they screwed it up. But they needed to, you know what? This is a new era. If you do this Punisher, you even use Thomas Jane. You do the Punisher now on Netflix, it's now in the MCU. You can now use him in Infinity War. You can now use him going forward. And by the time they get to Secret Wars, mark my words, they'll get there. we could have the Punisher and Daredevil in Secret Wars. And Blade. Let's get it right.
Yes, Blade.
Yes.
No, I don't want. No, I don't want to
And
see
Deadpool.
Bella and Edward. You need to be fired, sir. Bella and Edward. Bella and Edward in Blade is the worst idea ever. You just pushed it down to 1 star. That's horrible.
A negative 1 star.
I'll continue with the bad news.
Bad news. Uh-oh.
So Liam Neeson.
Hold on. Is this bad news?
He has a particular set of skills.
I don't know.
I have a particular set of skills.
Liam Neeson. He said in 2 years he will stop doing action movies.
Right. Okay. This was an announcement. I put it down on here. Now, here's the deal with Liam Neeson. He retired from acting like 4 years ago. And he's got another movie now. The guy, he says
3
this.
more movies.
I think the problem is he's starting to look at the long game and say, you know, in 2 years, I'm starting to look like Clint Eastwood. And Clint Eastwood is not pulling off the action movie.
No.
He doesn't want to be that guy. So he can go back to being Oscar nominee Liam Neeson and do some acting because the guy is a heck of an actor.
He is.
He has a particular set of skills. So, but he doesn't need to be doing Taken 7 and, you know.
No.
So I'm okay with that. It's not bad news.
Taken 1 was really good. Taken 2, it was okay.
You could
Then the
take it
other
or
ones-
leaving it?
I could take it or leave it, yes.
So bad.
It was bad, but it's okay. It was.
Big Hero 6, rumors are floating that a sequel is being talked about.
Nice.
A couple weeks ago, this is an update. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how they said there are no plans, and we were debating saying, of course they're going to do it. It's a big hit.
Sure.
Well, this year they announced, did they say it's the 3rd biggest? I think it's the third highest money-making Disney film.
That's
Why
ridiculous.
would you not make a sequel to that?
Oh, they're
They are
doing one.
Yeah,
They
that
just
was
announced
actually
it.
announced. They're doing a Frozen sequel.
The-
It's
the-
called Defrosted.
It's called Kelvin, 0 degrees Kelvin. No, I love the article I read. Big surprise.
It's not called Defrosted. My mom fell for that one. It's just Frozen 2.
It's called Boiling Point. Wait,
Wait.
Wait.
Suddenly I'm in. It's Liam Neeson and in Frozen 2, Boiling Point.
Boiling Point.
Hey, Olaf, I have a particular set of skills.
That's right.
That was
With
a little more
Christian Bale.
Connery than
That was
than
Connery.
Neeson.
Yes, it was a little bit because he's a little bit.
He could be
more
in
Irish,
it.
not
He
Scottish.
could be in it with Liam Neeson in Frozen 2, Boiling Point.
Yes.
I'd go. There's a live action movie I want to see.
By Tim Burton.
Yeah, they just
Quentin Tarantino together.
Tarantino directs it, so Olaf gets melted with a blowtorch. You're like, oh, this is dark, man.
This is dark.
I would see that movie.
That'll be good.
This is a big one for me.
Go.
I don't care if anyone else cares. I'm excited about this show. I'm a big Evil Dead fan. Okay? I love the Evil Dead. Anyone else like the Evil Dead? Yeah, Kathleen in the back, Evil Dead. Ruth, no way.
Bruce.
My parents don't even know what that is. They just saw the words evil and dead and said no. It's a Bruce Campbell movie directed by Liam Neeson. Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi, sorry.
And I love these movies, right?
Yeah.
They're doing a TV show. Did you know this?
I heard about
Ash versus the Evil Dead. Okay?
Ash Ketchum.
I am way into this. I will pre-order the Blu-ray right now. I don't care. It's going to be awesome. It's everything I want it to be. But here's why I got excited. They announced this week a new cast member. Lucy Lawless is going to be in Ash and the Evil Dead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Lucy Lawless is in
That's
it. Yay! She's Xena.
Yes.
Xena's awesome.
Who started with Sam Raimi and
Yes.
Xena, yes.
Yes.
That'll be good.
Yes.
She was really good in Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, she was.
She was really good at
And you know
it,
what? She was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for one episode. If Halil was here, we'd get into a fight. Because the way they killed her character on that, I say she's going to return. They never showed the body.
Oh,
they just kind of
yes.
let it go.
No, she's
she
dead.
will be back. Do I
She's
not say
dead.
this on the show all the time?
Yes,
Edward
you
listens
say-
to
you
it.
say it all the
Lucy
time.
Lucy Lawless is
She
coming
will
back.
die. No,
what do I
she's
say
dead.
about that? Mark my
What if-
words.
what if she's
and
a-
now she's going to come back with Deadites. What? I think there's a universe crossover between Evil Dead and Marvel. They did do Marvel Zombies. Oh, the Deadites make an appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What about Cylons?
I don't know.
Could she be a Cylon? And
I
just
can
come
only
back?
handle so much information at a time, Kathleen. Cylons in it?
She could be a Cylon and just come back from a world ship, I think.
Can you imagine if they did that on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if they brought in, because they've got all this space stuff kind of going on,
Right.
and we had a crossover where, because Amidala is going to be on it.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Edward
James Olmos is going to be on
that's
Agents
great.
of S.H.I.E.L.D., so he could come up, and then Lucy Lawless shows up, and there's a Cylon, and then Ash shows up, and we've got Evil Dead, and my whole world is made, and then Godzilla comes in and just destroys things.
Them all, yes.
With Agent Coulson.
Does Hulk smash him and then we're in?
Anyone wondering what goes on in my head? All those things swirling around are exactly what I think about most of the time. That's why I have trouble focusing.
Tony Stark walks up to Godzilla. We have a Hulk.
We have a Hulk.
We have a Hulk.
We got a Cylon. We have a Lucy Lawless. I'll take that any day of the week. Okay, we're running out of time, so I'm going to run through a few unless you guys got something you want to talk about. You got one?
I have a rumor that Warner Brothers will be maybe pursuing Chris Pine for Green Lantern reboot.
Yeah, that's a rumor. They're going to have to do
Yeah.
something because they're going to have the Justice League movie, and Green Lantern has to show up. So whoever's going to be their Green Lantern has got to be in it.
Yeah.
So the rumor now is Chris Pine, but we've heard like 4 other people. I don't know. Are they testing the waters, or is it
maybe
just rumor of the week?
Rumor of the week.
That might not be bad.
All right, might not be bad.
I think Chris Pine does a pretty good job, and he
He's
was
great as
great as
Captain
Kirk.
Kirk.
Yeah, fantastic.
I
Kirk.
didn't see. Did you see that Jack Ryan movie?
It
he
was
good in
okay. It wasn't
Did you guys
bad.
see Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit? Is that the name of it?
Yeah,
Wait,
Shadow
no,
Recruit.
it's
Yeah,
he was
yes,
good.
Yes, we've seen it. Yes, we've seen it.
Yeah, did you like it?
Jack Ryder.
All right.
Shadow.
Ruth gives it 5 stars, and now it has to go down from there.
That's right. It has to go down there.
Okay.
Game of Thrones coming up April 12th. Saw the trailer.
Yep. Yep. That's going to be awesome.
And
I didn't watch the trailer. I've only seen the first 6 episodes.
Oh, the best part about it is I have read all the books, and it is so different in the TV version,
Yeah.
which is great because they're killing different people, and that gives me hope that some of the people that I did not agree that George R.R. Martin killed.
Well, and Martin
gonna stick
said
around,
recently that this is the season. This is where it's going to start to
It hits the
go a
fan.
different way because
Yeah.
he said the show is going to end before he finishes the last book, which is interesting because they've always said it's going to catch up and there's going to.
Sure.
But George Martin said this is going to. I believe this is going. The show is going to end before I publish the last book, so it is different by that point.
Well, it's already significantly different,
But this is gonna really-
It's going to go a lot different because they're. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, he's not
I'm
saying
not
anything.
going to say anything about
People
it. so-
die. Spoiler.
Oh yeah.
Actually, George R.R. Martin told them how he wants it to end, so that even if he dies before he finishes writing the book,
They'll end it the proper way. All right. I've only got 2 more things, really fast.
I have one.
Okay,
which
what
is
have you
at the
got?
very bottom. Booster Gold.
Yes.
Will be one of the 3 heroes.
Now, this is a rumor. They haven't said it for sure.
This is a rumor joining the Arrow Flash spinoff.
That Arrow Flash spinoff that we talked about, one of the characters they say is going to be in it, Booster Gold. Okay.
No, wait, Ogler.
I didn't know people now knew who Booster Gold was.
Yeah.
He's in the new 52, though, right?
I don't know. All I know him from is
I read those when they first come up. I have Booster Gold number 1.
They had it like a Justice League.
Okay, I didn't know he was a
character.
character that anyone cared about. He was
I
such
care
an
about him.
80s character.
He's the best thing ever.
Yeah, he was a time traveler that stole things from a museum in the future that gave him superpowers, and he traveled back in time to make money as a superhero, like an 80s superhero guy. And he called himself Booster Gold, and he was all cheesy. And you know
He had
what?
That little robot.
The comic was actually really great because he was this narcissistic, awful D-bag from the future, but then he got back here and like real people died and the future was affected and he was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
I have to actually step up and use these powers. I loved it, but it was such a 80s type thing that I thought it just died and went away, but he's going to be on it as if I wasn't all in on that show already. I am way in now. And the name is terrible, which is even better.
Even better.
Booster Gold. It's a terrible name.
It just sounds 80s. It reeks of bad 80s.
It's like Poochie on The Simpsons. Itchy and Scratchy.
Poochie.
Show. Okay. That was one of my 2. The other one I have, this one is going to be quick. Variant Comics. Do you know who Variant Comics is? They're another big publisher. They do kind of these off superheroes. They're interesting, though. They're dark and weird and a little more like Asian influence. Bloodshot is one of them. I think Shy is one of them. They're really interesting books. Well, the guys who made, I don't remember, but they're two guys that were involved in something like the Russo brothers or somebody like that. Somebody that you go like, oh, wow, they're pretty awesome.
Right.
It might even be them. They are helping bring Variant Comics. They made a deal that they are going to do this with a Japanese filmmaking company.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
20th Century are going to I don't know. I just made that word up. 20th Century Shogun are going to make Variant Comics films. So now we've got the Marvel Universe, the DC Universe, the Ghostbusters Universe. We're going to have a Variant Universe, I really hope. Because to me, if you read these books, you'll be all in. You'll be like, wow, these are really cool. So that's big news. Right now, it may not feel like it,
Right.
but you watch a couple of years from now, you're going to be like, remember when we were talking about those Variant Comics?
Right.
Man, I'm all about Bloodshot. It's awesome.
And they're all the #1 movie.
Yep. It's going to be awesome. So that's big. Anyone else got one last thing?
Maybe this. Joel
Kinnaman?
Yeah, Joel Kinnaman confirms his role in the Suicide Squad.
Right. He's playing Flag, right? Yeah, he's playing Flag, the one that the first guy left, and then they tried to get somebody else, and he left. And
Rick
here's the
Flag.
other thing that Kinnaman said. Kinnaman, when it was quoted this week, is saying, "I read the script, and it's like the most awesome thing I've ever read." To which I read it and went, "Yeah, Joel Kinnaman, you're saying that because they hired you and paid you a lot of money, and they gave you a role in a superhero movie. But let's face it, all these other guys have been ditching on it. I think that movie's in trouble, and I think Kinnaman's trying to be the good boy to get this gig."
Well, he's being the good soldier.
And I think Kinnaman's an awesome actor. Great, Rick Flag, that's who he's playing.
Right.
Good for him. I don't think it's going to tarnish his career. Go ahead and play ball, but I can't believe that this is this amazing script. I just can't.
It may not be, and hopefully they can
Hopefully
make
they
something
fix
out
it.
of it so they can get some kind of. I mean, if everybody has low expectations, then it can only improve. And I mean, I think that's good because think of all the movies.
Do you remember Mad TV? Lowered expectations.
That's right. Exactly.
Every time you say that,
Well,
I think of that.
I think all of these movies have these unbelievable expectations. It's going to be the next Avengers. It's going to be the next blah, blah, blah. And it just, not all of them can be like that.
Right.
Why can't it just be a quality story?
Right.
And then they build
and
from
if it is, then we're in good shape.
Right.
That's where I think the DC thing is a problem. I think that they're just they're scrambling to get that Avengers hit. Mm-hmm. Stop it. Focus on the story.
Sure.
Focus on character development. You will build your universe afterwards. You can plant those seeds, but do all that work first. And I don't think that's what they're doing, and that's why I'm nervous about this. So there we go. It just got serious. Did you guys catch that? What a weird tone that got.
That was, hey, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Are we done?
Is that on the notes?
Yes.
Yes, it's a
I'm
Be
done.
serious at the end.
Be serious. Yes.
I'm done.
All right. Well,
We're
that's
done.
it. That's it for This Week in Geek, everybody. We will see you next Saturday. If I should have this up pretty quickly. So if you're in Indianapolis this weekend, we will be at the Indianapolis Comic-Con, which is this weekend. So March 14th and 15th, we're doing the Geektastic Cage Match live there. We're doing Geek My Kid, and we're doing a very serious panel
On a
about
serious note.
podcasting and journalism. Watch me be serious. Yes, it doesn't happen.
Journalism with a J.
You know what? It's all they can do to keep me from talking about Wolverine and how awesome he is.
That's right.
Or Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man. So that's it. Thank you, everybody. Let's hear it for Blue Box. Have a great week.